All right. Welcome everyone to another live stream of Let's Talk Photography. All right, I got my board set up in a better position here today. So, I got some funky stuff to share with you. It's kind of a story time, you know? Yeah, it's kind of a story time situation, but it's a lesson that I think a lot of you out there need to know, okay? It may have happened to you, but come to find out, I know I'm not the only one. All right. So, with that said, today I'm going to be discussing ways to avoid you being scammed as a photographer. All right. These thieves out here are trying to get, as a matter of fact, they're not even trying, they're getting better and better. But there are certain signs that will give away they're scamming. That's right. And we're going to talk about that. Before we talk about all that, feel free to post a comment. Let me know where you're at. I'd love to know. Let's get over some of this here business, shall we? First and foremost, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and follow me on all the socials. All right. I'm talking about Facebook, we got Instagram, we got Threads, TikTok, and X, aka a Twitter. It's still Twitter to me, but whatever. It's X. Okay. It's the most retarded name, but nonetheless. Now, what else is there? Oh, I do want to let you know, if you haven't already, feel free to go check out my latest live stream where I use the Godox V100 speed light in high speed sync. And this is the thumbnail to the video live stream. Now, the live stream was very fun, but we were on a beach and the reception wasn't the best, but nonetheless, the point was, I hope the point came across. I believe it did. And we captured some great photos using that speed light. Okay. And for those that don't know, the Godox V100 is a 100 watt speed light. So it's really good for on-camera flash or off-camera flash. In this case, I used an off-camera flash with a small softbox, and that photo was one of the photos that I took during that live stream. So feel free to go check that out after this live stream. And of course, recently I just did an unboxing video. I believe I posted it. Oh, it was yesterday. Of the new SIRUI Vision Prime 1 Series full frame Cine lenses. Okay. And what's really cool about these is that they come with multiple adapters, and I'm going to show you guys that later on in this video. And no, they did not sponsor me. I don't think they've ever sponsored anybody except send them stuff. I'm not that big yet. I'm not that cool, so they don't send me anything. I bought these lenses out of my own pocket during their Kickstarter. That was the best time to get it. Anywho, let's see if there's anything else. Of course, if you feel inclined, feel free to support this channel. You can by doing a super chat, super sticker, or become a member of this channel. And believe it or not, it actually helps to support this channel and allows me to dedicate more time to creating more content for all of you out there. I've been getting a lot of requests for Nikon, no surprise, and video in particular. One of my latest comments was about somebody having questions about video with the Z6 Mark III. So shout out to him. So with that said, I'm going to be balancing a lot more content between photos and video. All right. So for those that don't like video, I'm sorry I just had to diversify. Okay. I think both go hand in hand in many ways. And just being photography all day is great, but our cameras do so much more, and there's so much gear that actually helps us in both arenas that I just have to talk about it, especially now that I do so much video as well as photography. So it's just the nature of the beast. Okay. So if you do have any questions about video, well, hopefully I'll be answering them in upcoming videos. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. Okay, we're good right there. Now, let's get to the product of the day, shall we? Let's go to media. There we go. And all right, there we go. Let me see if it gets on me. Come on, there we go. All right, so here we are. These are the SIRUI full frame Cine lenses for full frame mirrorless cameras. Now, a lot of you probably already heard about this entire set. This is the 24 millimeter, obviously, and then I have in the kit it comes with a 35 and a 50 mil. And quite honestly, I absolutely really am impressed with these lenses. Okay. They're obviously full, it's all metal construction, and it's all manual. The focus throw is about 200 degrees, I believe it is. It's super long focus throw. Now, what's good about a super long focus throw is precision. And when you're filming, a lot of times that's the one thing you want is you want precision. And our photocentric lenses, let's just say an art lens, though picture wise will create a fantastic video, but the focus throw is much shorter. So therefore, the autofocus can snap to where you want it much faster. So it's built for speed for your autofocus. In this case, these are built more for precision. Okay. And as usually, you may have a focus puller doing the focusing for you, but in some cases, you may doing it yourself. But ultimately, it's about having that detail control. So that's why you have that. And because that there is no autofocuses in here, guess what? They're affordable. Now, I have the 24. I have, what is this one here? I think this is the 35. Here we go. The 35 right there. And then I also have, come on now. I got the 50 right here. Okay. Now, I bought these lenses not just because of the affordability. It was $15.99. No tax, by the way. $15.99 if you did the early adopter, backer on their Kickstarter. But the best thing is that they come with adapters. So they have several mounts that it comes with, included an RF, an E mount, an L mount, and a Z mount. So pretty much everybody's covered with this. And I don't know if you can see it right there. Let's see if you can see it. But on the lenses, it has it ingrained which mount you have on there. It's like right there. So it's really, really cool. The reason why I'm bringing these up is because if you're thinking about getting into filmmaking or anything like that and want a good set of your first pair of Cine lenses, you honestly can't beat these. All three sets right now is only $18.99, and it comes with like a Pelican style case. You can check that out in my video. They're very well built, and it's T1.4. So this is great for low light, great for blowing out that background, creating that separation, and it's affordable again, and it's built for full frame. So most of us may have a full frame mirrorless camera at home, and if you have a RF, a L, or a Z, or whatever I just said, an E mount, you're covered. So, and the by the way, just to give you some reference, it's a 67 millimeter filter thread. Okay, therefore very affordable ND filters. Very affordable. So I'm bringing them with me on a wedding I have to shoot video. I'm shooting video for this wedding on Saturday, and I'm going to shoot the reading of the letters or reading of the vows portion of the video with these prime lenses. So I will share with you the results of what I got out of these lenses. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be using a Panasonic camera on Saturday. No, I'm end up using a Lumix. I'm using a Nikon Z6 Mark III. The Z6 Mark III is going to live on top of my Ronin. It works really well with the 24-70 f2.8 lens. So that's going to live on the Ronin, and then for the talking head portion, I'm gonna shoot with that. So, and I have an assistant with another camera. But anywho, I will be bringing these and again sharing you those test videos later on. So, with all that said, that is the product highlight of the day. All right, so let's check out some of these here. Hey, Vic, good to see you. We got Drunk Wedding Photographer. Yeah, got him in the house. Cool. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want to let's bring up some of these. We got some news. We got some news today. Okay, let's bring up some of these good old news. All right, here we go. Look at that production. Come on now, guys. Come on now. I got the windows and the screens changing. I'm trying to get this more faster, you know. I'd rather someone else do it, but it is what it is. All right, so check this out. As many of you know, yesterday, Viltrox released a 35 f 1.2 lab lens. Okay, another one. And as what Pedal Pixel says, is another budget winner. I watched numerous reviews of this video of this lens, and so far everybody pretty much gave it like a solid A. Like they had certain issues, but I didn't think they were big enough issues to not want to get this lens or not want to review it or not want to tell people about it. I honestly think Viltrox is killing the game. And this lens right here is showing what can be done. And it gets harder and harder to justify buying native lens mounts. This is like a great example. It may not be I believe Jared was like, it may not be exactly like a Sony G Master Performance, but the price cost is so like the difference is in the cost is so dramatic that who's gonna notice? You know, you can't beat it. This lens is like $1,000 for this lens. Okay, there it is, right there, $1,000 for this lens. Now it's gonna be hard pressed for someone to say why not give this lens a shot at 35 f 1.2 for a full frame lens. I mean, for a full frame mirrorless camera. That's gonna be nuts. For $1,000, that's pretty freaking awesome. Okay. I for sure I went on Amazon and I already noticed it was available, but not for Z mount, obviously. So once it becomes available for Z mount, there's a very good chance I may pick this up. And I want to pick up that Viltrox 135 f 1.8 lens because you all know I love the Plena lens, but that lens is only like $900. Okay. And I believe that's a lab lens as well. Let's see here real quick. Hey, what's going on, Greg? Thank you for tuning in. Yes, we're talking about this lens right here, which I think is a representative of what is to come in the next 3 years from these smaller brands. I say small in terms of market or industry footprint, right? Compared to a Sigma or Tamron or all of our native lenses. Viltrox, we have Young Yo, and I think there's another one, but those are the two that come to mind first. I have a Young Yo 85 f 1.8 lens for Z mount, and that thing kills it. And it's super small. I think that's only a 67 millimeter filtered thread as well. And I'm very impressed with that little lens. And it's about half the price of a native lens. So this is another great example. Have any of you watched the reviews on this lens yet? And if so, what do you think? What do you think about this lens? Is this something you could add to your kit? Would you be happy to get this? Is the price for $1,000 just right or overpriced? Let me know what you think. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see. I'm gonna say those smaller companies are making more bank than we think. Oh, 100%. I think 100%, because I think that what they're gonna do is, they're also gonna be, winning what is it? They're gonna kill them in quantity. They're gonna sell more of them more often to different levels of photographers. Even a beginner slash hobbyist may be inclined to spend that $1,000 versus $2,300, right? Oh, absolutely. $1,000, Greg, is a magnificent price. You can't beat it. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's very tempting. If you're a Sony or a Nikon Z mount shooter, this you may look at this lens. I mean, let's be honest, okay? Uh yeah, and they make great glass. They're making good glass. That's the thing. Even Jared Polin with his critiques and how he's really honest and brutally honest sometimes. He even said how well built this lens is, and especially how much more he takes Viltrox more serious after that release of the 135 f1.8 lens. Mark, what's going on, man? I mean, I may have to get it at that price. Yes, exactly what I thought too. I was like, damn, for $1,000. I mean, a 35-1.2 would be pretty sexy in a camera bag. Come on now. Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Randy Savage thinks so too. Fajar, what's up, man? Usually $100 more from E-mount. I might be wrong. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. Hopefully it's a little if it's $900, 899 for a Z mount, I will just buy it. It's that good of a price. I mean, how do you beat that? Mark man, now I feel silly. Get the planner. Shaking my head. Yeah, I want to do a review. Check this out. I want to do a review on their I'm gonna do the review with the Viltrox 135 f1.8 compared to the Plena and do a showdown. Would you guys like to see that showdown? The Viltrox versus the Plena. Come on now. What do you think about that? Okay. I think that would be a fantastic showdown. What would it be? Would you like to see a video of those two mighty prime lenses going at it? Photo to photo, portrait to portrait, headshot to headshot. Viltrox 135 f1.8 versus the Nikon 135 millimeter Plena. Would you like to see that? Come on now, let me know. There we go. All right. All right. All right, guys. Okay. I'm willing to. Here's the thing. I have zero relationship with Viltrox, unfortunately. But I'm willing to buy it myself. You hear that? I'm willing to buy it myself off Amazon to bring you that review. Only if you announce it in the epic rap battle in history voice. Yes. You mean like this? Okay, I'll do it like this, Vic. Today, we have two mighty lenses. In one corner, in the red trunks, we have the Viltrox 135 millimeter f1.8 lab lens. On the other corner, dressed in yellow and black, is the Nikon 135 millimeter Plena. Which one will win? Stay tuned. Subscribe to find out more. Like that. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. I had some of this dehydration, and I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. I don't know what's going on with me today. All right. So, okay, you think the Plena would win out, but it's not that big considering the price. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's what I want to see. I want to see the performance of these two lenses head to head, and then trying to understand, the value, right? Like if I could get for $900 the same similar performance, it's kind of a done deal right there. What do you say against that? Fajar says, I'm at the crossroads of I hate hurting my back, but I love fast primes. Maybe I should buy a backpack that can glide into suitcase wheels. Yeah, that's one thing. I do have one like that, but it's actually pretty heavy. I think they have lighter ones now. Greg, I'm glad you like that. Left no crumbs. Exactly. Hey, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it like that. But yes, let's definitely let me look up, let me see on Amazon the let's take a look, guys. Okay. There we go. Let's see. All right, I'm on Amazon right now. Let's look up the Viltrox 135. Look at that. First thing pop right up. It is my thing. $8.99. Oh, you'll get it in about 10 days. If we order it now, it'll be like 10 days. Look at that. Wow. I mean, I'll get this tomorrow, but it's 2,500. $2,500. That's pretty big compared to $8.99. Oh my God. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. You guys want to see that battle royale? That's pretty tempting. Battle royale. Fajar says both. I tried both 14 or 30 millimeter f4 and 20 millimeter f1.8, wanting to only choose one, but bought two of them instead. Damn, I'm telling you, brother, it hits. You know what? Um, do I? I don't need those two lenses. Let's be honest. But one thing is, when I shoot video, I do like having a fast aperture. Especially when I could get more light in the lens. I wouldn't shoot tons of video with a 135 unless it's like on some sticks on a tripod, right? But for photos, I may have to do it just to show you. And Markman may really enjoy that review in compared to the Plena. So we'll find out. Let's see where we go. Okay. I wonder when the Z mount version of that 35 will be released. Let me see if it's on here. Let's see. 35 millimeter Viltrox. No, 1.2 though. Wait. Oh no, that's the 1.8. I was about to say, oh heck no. It is not yet. I don't see it here. And this stupid tariff thing may mess things up. Okay? Messing up my game. Okay. I'm gonna put it into my calendar and see we could do this battle royale. I gotta borrow a Plena from my buddy. So see what he says, and then I'll bring it to all of you. See what you all say. That might be pretty fun. Okay. I think it would be pretty dope. All right, let's see here. It looks like we're caught up in comments and whatnots. Let's get back to our news here. Oh, here's the next thing I want to share with all of you in the news. All right, so for those that do have a Nikon Z9, firmware was just released to 5.2, and it adds NX Tether 2.30 is released. Oh, in that one. And so what it did was it added support for NX Field, a remote shooting system for the Z9. That's pretty much it. But you know what? Oh, okay. So if you do have Tether version, if you have the NX Tether, you get the 2.3.0. It adds support for Z5.2 for the few people that have it. And the frame and guide display is available in live view. Live view feature is now available with the ZF. Shutter speed is now displayed. So they just kind of tightened up a few things. Oh, new cameras now support slow motion video recording. Yada, yada, yada. Now, with these firmware updates, because the ZF got a firmware update too. Here we go. Here's a ZF. Yep, there we go. So version 2.0, which now has birds autofocus right there, and image cloud, and much more, it says, right? Now, I think that's cool. I mean, birds and whatnot. Let me see what it does in our video department. So added support Nikon imaging cloud, um, importing custom picture controls. As I said, birds AF, added low ISO sensitivity options. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, for use during N-Log. Okay, that's cool. Added high-res zoom. And what else? And the rest of, the following Atomos external recorders support this function. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, wait, let me see that playback. Retouch, added auto image rotation, added series playback options, added a width. Okay, so nothing too crazy that I see. All right, but it got me asking this question. Okay, this is the question I want to ask all of you out there. Okay, what firmware update would you like to see from Nikon? What kind of improvement through their firmware would you like to see? Because one came to mind when I was looking at these updates. I have the Z6 Mark III. I have the Z8. And in the Z8, when you play back a high speed video, let's say 120 frames or 100 frames or even 60 frames, you have the option of playing it back slowly in slow motion playback. I love that because then I understand before I get home, how is that video going to look in slow motion? Because that's my intention is to play it in slow motion, and whether I like what was done. Right now with the Z6 Mark III, you only get to play back in regular speed. Super annoying. So if I'm shooting at 100 frames or 120 frames or whatever I'm doing, I don't get to know exactly did I like if I'm going to like the way that slow motion effect is going to be applied at home. It's too late. I wish they just added that right along as when they added the shutter angle to the Z6 Mark III, they should have just added that playback option. Now, maybe I couldn't find it. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. But if you do, feel free, post it down below. Let me know. But I couldn't find it. I enjoy using the Z6 Mark III for video. I just wish I could play back the high-speed video in slow motion playback. And the Z8, when you press playback, there is an option. It'll literally say, do you want to play this back, what speed? And I want that for the Z6 Mark III. That is one update I wish they would do. If they did it for the Z8, they could certainly do it for the Z6 III, and it would cost probably nothing. But let me know. That's just one of my gripes that as far as what I would like to see in a future firmware update. What update would you like to see for your mirrorless camera? All right, let's start. I think we got a couple oh, okay, for sure. Says there's this one shot I really need with 14 and 16. Oh, okay. Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, DM that to me later. I'd like to see that. That looks pretty cool. That looks like it could come out cool. Yeah, you are in super wide with 14 and 16. Absolutely. I need a super wide Z lens, to tell you the truth. They finally gave us separated ISO settings for C and manual ISO values. Yeah, that is pretty good. Sony separate auto ISO settings. Oh, sorry. Separate auto ISO settings. Oh, okay. For s- I wish you could custom. What I'd like to do with auto ISO is be able to customize it exactly the way I want it. I forgot what camera I was looking at, but yesterday it only allowed me to set the high ISO in the auto to something they wanted. It was like 3,000. No, it went from 3,200 to 6,400, and I wanted to stop it at 4,000 because I knew that is the in the dual native ISO. That's when it kicks in. That second circuit is at 4,000. Now, 6,400 is not going to kill me compared to a 4,000, but like I'd like to be able to customize it to what exactly I want. Look at Z6 Mark III Birder. Oh, they haven't got one, and Z5 II already got one on release. Well, I think they just added it with this thing. Oh no, that was for the Z. Yeah, yeah, no. I heard later this year they'll add that. I mean, that's only seems logical, but yes, it does seem odd that a newer camera has it, and the old one they didn't just immediately do a release for that one. I want to see 30 FP raw photo shooting in Z8 and Z9. Open gate to shut the Panasonic fan. Oh shoot! Wow! Shots fired. Shots fired. Wow. You may be right. I would love to see open gate. One thing I would like to know is when I'm setting my choosing a video codec, I'd like to know how many megabits a second is being recorded. In Panasonic, they actually tell you like before as you're choosing which one in the main menu, it will say 150, 200, 400, etc. So I would like to know. Reason is when you're recording for let's say a short film, you want to do at least 250 megabits a second, 422, 10-bit minimum. So I'd like to know all those things, not do some funky math and hope that it's giving me the right amount of colors. But I guess if you do ProRes, you should be good to go. But I'm just saying I'd like to know those numbers. Let's see here. FWIW. I spent yesterday morning photographing eagles close and far, and the Z63's bird detection was totally good. That is awesome. I never really had an issue. You know what? This past Saturday, I believe I told you guys last week, I was shooting a video for a brand, and I had the Z63 on a gimbal, my RS3 Pro, which is around here somewhere, and wherever it's at, had it on a gimbal, and that autofocus was beyond reliable, beyond reliable. It was really impressive, shockingly impressive. And I never worried about the autofocus. I mean, I know how it acts, right? But I had it on AFF, face detect, human detect, and it was kicking butt. And my subject was moving all over the place, and I was doing this. All I had to worry about was exposure with the ND filter, just adjusting it because it was midday and it was outdoor, and framing really. But outside of that, the autofocus was kicking butt. And surprisingly enough, the EN-EL15 batteries held up pretty well too. I only had to change one, and I recorded three. It was a 3-hour shoot. I just had to replace one, so that's pretty good. Shout out to that. I'm telling you, that camera is a good jack of all trades for the price. You can't beat it. But I wish it was open gate. That would be mind blowing. Oh, yes, absolutely. And LUT support, yes. But you can yeah, that would be nice. LUT support would be dope internally. But what I've been doing is that I've been doing it through an external monitor. Oh shoot, there it is. Hold on one. Let me grab this. All right, guys. Oh Jesus. This thing is All right. So check this out. Right here. Bloop. So here's my Ronin RS3 Pro. Jesus. Tighten this thing up. Here's the Ronin RS3 Pro. And I just bought this monitor. They didn't send it to me. I bought it myself. It's the new, come on now. Here, it's the, Jesus, where's my drums at? Where's my drums? It's the new Atomos Shinobi Go. That's what we got right there. Look how thin that monitor is. I want to share this with you next week, but it's whatever. Look how thin that monitor is. That's super crazy thin. Dude, I'm telling you folks, if you need a field monitor, it's 1,500 nits. Okay. This thing doesn't draw much energy, which is what I like. That's why I got it. And when I'm running a gimbal with the Z6 III on there, an ounce is a pound. So if you could get a lightweight field monitor, dude, this thing is light. It's super thin. It's like it's thin. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it to you. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it to you. Look at that. Look at that comparison to my iPhone 14 Pro Max. That's impressive. Let's be honest. That's pretty good. Look at that. Autofocus wants to hit my eye. It doesn't want to. Gotta hide my face. Let's see. Anyway, but you see that? That's pretty good. When I take this battery off, it's super freaking, this thing, it's lighter than my phone. It's super crazy. So that's the Atomos Shinobi Go. All right. So I put this on the gimbal and I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I do not feel it. My other monitor, I felt it a little bit. Wasn't bad. But this thing, you don't feel it. So you just put this little bad boy. Jeez, I'm making a hot mess with this thing right now. Like I don't know how to put on my own monitor. Get my fingers all on it. There we go. You just don't feel it. It's super light. Okay. I did buy a little cage with a visor with a sun hood on it. Because when you're in the daytime, I'm telling you, you need a sun hood. I don't care what anybody says. So there we go. So I'm just letting you know how I ran the Z6 Mark III with my Ronin gimbal. And if you shoot video, a gimbal is awesome. Some people just like doing handheld, but I love working with a gimbal. Anyway, I digress. Let's see the next thing. I'm pretty sure they already have some firmware planned or even tackled. Yes, but gate kept so they can release it whenever the sales are struggling. Yeah, I know. I mean, come on. Why can't they just add the slow motion? Like this is supposed, the Z6 III is sold as such a strong video camera. I want to see the slow motion in playback. Yes, I'd love a low setting for auto ISO. We only have high. I know that's the thing. I'm not going to name the system, but there is a system that allows you to adjust the low and the high and make your own custom. So it can be done. That's why I mentioned that. It can be done. Call Big Cook. Man, I'm telling you. Hello to Albert. Good to see you. Oh, okay. I think he's asking somebody a question. Oh, question. Can you give us a quick breakdown of shutter angle versus normal shutter settings in video? Z6 III now has shutter angle. I don't know how to use it. Okay. So if you're shooting video, it's a quick math. It's like, here, let me. There's no beef between Lumix and Nikon. I love them both. Okay. So shout out to both of them. They're both great. I honestly am very happy with the systems I've been using. So let me answer this question for you. With shutter angle, with shutter speed, to put it simply, with shutter speed, you set it and then it stays there, right? It's 2 times the inverse of your shutter speed. So if your frames per second. So if you're shooting at 24 frames a second, your shutter speed should be 1/48, right? That's your shutter speed you would set in video. And then you set it, and then there you go. But that's right, I said it. Whoops. But if you change to 60 frames, that means you have to manually change it to 1/125th or 1/120th, but we all know it's 1/125th of a second. Okay. And then you go up from there. If you're recording at 120 frames a second, that means your shutter speed needs to be 1/240th, a hundredth of a second. Okay. Now, with that said, to put it simply, shutter angle, if you put it at 180 degrees, which is you put it at 180 degrees, this goes back to film, like actual film cinema cameras, but that's a longer story. If you put it at 180 degrees, no matter what frame rate you have it will already do the math for you. So it'll already put it at 1/48th of a second, 1/125th of a second, 1/240th of a second. Okay. That's why shutter angle for videos, so it's great. And then you don't have to, you could just put it on shutter angle and you don't think about it. It's all the shutter speed is already calculated in relation to the frames per second that you're shooting at. To put it simply, yes, I know whoever sees this is going to have some huge mathematical explanation, but I'm just putting it very simply. The benefits of both. Now, does one beat the other? No, it's basically doing the same math because it's all relation to the shutter speed and your frames per second. So if you're recording 24 frames, but you put your shutter speed at 1/90th, it's going to appear to be a little bit sharper, but it'll come off a little bit not as natural. There will be less blur. Like you see my hands blur right now. That's what you're going to get when you have that shutter angle at 180 degrees. But as soon as you're making it smaller, let's say 90 degrees, you're going to get, it'll be that much more sharper, but it'll come off less real. That might be an effect you want. The inverse also happens too. Okay. Where in which you make it longer than 180 degrees. And then now you have more shutter drag, if you will. You're slowing the shutter speed down. Yes. Oh boy. Check out the NAND lights. Oh, if it's NAND light, it probably is. I will. You know what? Give me a second, Mark, man. You know what I just got in? You talking about a 300-watt light amp? I'll give me a second, okay? Fajar, feels like a whole calculation system that's accepted in filming world to make it easier. Yes, 100%. That's why filmmakers want shutter angle. You just set it to 180 degrees. If you want more, there might be some dramatic scenes that you do want heavy amount of ghosting or like blur just to add suspense, or maybe he's tripping on something. You might want to drag your shutter, right? So that's all, but it's the same calculation that's happening, but you just can set it and forget it. That's the best part about shutter angle. So I use shutter angle for all my video. Okay. I only want to worry about the aperture, ISO, composition, etc. Boom. Whew. Oh, it's on B&H. Copy that. Let me take a look at that. All right. Let's do a little road trip here, okay? A little road trip. Let's go to B&H. And you said, geez, NAND Light 300B is the FSB 1 or 2? You said it's the FSB. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, okay. This one here. Let me know if this is the one. Let me know if this is the one. Exactly. Set it and forget it. Just like the infomercials. Just like George Foreman grills. Oh, okay. The 2. All right, my bad. Let me go to the 2. Is this the one? Is this the one? Let me know. Is this the one? You're welcome, Craig. That's a great question, and I appreciate the you asking that. Oh, it was the one before. Okay, copy that. Let me go back. All right, 300 watt, 239, bi-color LED. It's by Nan Light, so I'm gonna assume it's a pretty good light. I haven't used this light in particular, but I'll tell you one thing. Right now about this light, 239 for 300 watts. That's actually not bad. It's pretty good actually. The price is nice. Let me tell you, when you're shooting video, like if you're buying lights, I gotta make this video because I've wasted so much money. All right, real quick, check this out right here. All right, Mark man, check this out. I just got this bad boy in. Okay, the GVM SD 300B Arrow. It is built really well. I'm actually pretty impressed. It's built really well. Works with a mobile app like every other LED. But the reason why I wanted to review this light, I haven't introduced it to you guys because I haven't gotten to start. I'm going to start using it at the wedding. Is the first thing I'm doing with it. And trust me, I'm going to land a plane. The reason why I showed you that is because one thing I've learned with lighting is that you can never have too much lighting. You know, it's like batteries. Could you really have enough? So, Markman, when you're looking at that light, you're looking at a good light. It's a good brand. They make great stuff. I don't have any relationship with them, but I've seen a lot of people work with them and enjoy their products. That's a good price, $300. But the point is that you're looking at a nice 300 watt light. What is it here? Let's take a look. Fan cooled, Bowens mount, all good. Decent ratings like everything else. Wireless app control. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be upset with this. Daylight balanced. 5600. Oh, it's bicolor though. Where's the low end to this thing? Oh, there it is. 2700 to 6500 Kelvin. Okay, that's about standard. So you're gonna be good to go. If you're shooting video, this will be a great key light for now. If somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, what light should I get?" and I want to get real serious with video, I would say go straight to a 300 watt LED light. That's just my opinion when it comes to constant light. I do have lights that are not 300 watt. I have a lot of them. But when I'm filming on set and I have to use maybe an ND filter, or I had to use where I need power, I need light. Guess what? You only could go to whatever the max of that light source. So what I'm saying is, when I mean by you can never have too much light, have a lot of light. You can always dim it. You can always turn it down. But you can't turn it up, right? I have multiple 60 watt. I have 150 watt. They're all great. I love them for a purpose. But there have been times where I don't want to boost up the ISO. Well, what are you going to do? You can't just open up the aperture all the way if it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the video. You certainly can't slow down the shutter speed. Can't do that like in photography. You're going to have to turn up the power. Going to have to turn up the light. With that said, you only could go as high as the light can go. So if you're looking at a 300 watt light, constant light, and LED light, I think that's a phenomenal start. I started with 150 and I have like multiple 60 watt, etc., which is great if you have a controlled condition and stuff like that. You should be good to go. But I've noticed that even with the 60 watt, I'd have to boost up the ISO a little bit. I don't want to have to do that nearly as much with a 300 or a 600. That's the next light I want is a 600 watt. Now, do I need that all the time? No. Am I going to film it at 500, 600 watt? No. But the point is I have it. I have it in case I need it. In case there's a little, you need to overcome the fact that you have to use an ND filter. There's how can I say? When did I need it? Sometimes I was doing an interview one time, and the 60 watt, I cranked it all the way up, but then I had to boost up the ISO a hair, and I was like, dang, I want to keep it as clean as possible. So, anywho, that's my recommendation. If you are looking at that 300 watt, I think that's a great start. That's a good price. Okay. The price you can is really nice. And it's a reputable brand. Nanlite is great. I've never heard anything bad about them. And I believe they do flashes too. Um yeah, exactly. Oh, you have however, I was gifted two Palsy Buff Einstein. Those are great strobes. Only thing about those strobes is that little glass dome in the front, watch how you put on your modifier, because I've had mine fall off, the modifier fall off and hit that dome, crash to the floor, and it's made out of glass, so it crashes and breaks. That could be a pain in the butt. Those are phenomenal, classic, OG studio flashes. You certainly can't go wrong with them. Okay, great. That's a great gift. Whoever gifted you Einsteins, I liked you. 300 watt is great. Absolutely. Absolutely. You could do some nice photos with those too. I just got a Lume Cube tube light for my birthday. It's really good. My only constant light, planning on some light painting shots. That's awesome. I have two Lume Cube LED lights. They're the 4-foot tall ones, and they're awesome and super bright, ironically. Yeah, right. Palsy Buff is for the win every time. Okay. All right. Now let me get to the story at hand. Okay. Let's go over here. With that said, let's go to media and let's get to the main event. All right, check this out, everybody. Look at this right here. Can you believe this? Oh, let me take that off. Cool. Look at this. Look what happened recently. Oh, let me give you some context. Let me give you some context. Okay. Recently, I had I received an email that was from a magazine, an editorial magazine, an actual publication, meaning they have a staff and an address. And they were like, hey, would you like to? I'm such and such editor. We got this project. Would you be interested in it? Right. And if you look real quick, it looks legit, but there's more. Okay. Let's get into it. So I got this email right here, and I'm telling you so that a lot of you can avoid this, because I'm starting to notice a trend. Okay. So let me get to this window. So here it is, Michael Moraine from DSM Mag. Okay, DSM Magazine. I hope this message finds you well. Thank you for expressing your interest in collaborating with us in this exciting project. We are eager to work together to produce a collection of high quality images. These images will be prominently featured across social media, yada, yada, yada. They'll need, 66 photos, 3 group shots with all 6 models. So it's like 6 models. They need a bunch of photos. Okay. They give you the deadline. Look what the pay they say. It's going to be this much right there. And, right. They're going to give me 45 and pay me $500 upon the deliverable right here. And it says talent fees payable directly to the talent manager for distribution. I'm like, okay. That's the first thing. If they start asking for you to pay everybody, that's sign number 1 right there. Okay. They will never, I have never shot for a magazine personally. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe some others that will, if they're already going to be working with an agency that where they choose the models already, there's no reason to have me have to pay them. They would just pay the agent who will pay the models. Like that seems pretty obvious. Okay. Let me look. I'm going to show you the initial email. DSM Mag. Okay, here we go. Is this it? No, okay, I guess that was it. Okay. So everything looks semi-normal from here. I was like, okay. Now I always take it as with a grain of salt because I have seen these kind of scams happen before. So they want like a spring theme editorial. Okay. Overall, they want it outdoors. All right. And they want suitable backdrop if we're doing it indoors / with an Easter touch. Okay. If we did it indoors, they give, look at all the details they give. They give the specs. They want JPEG, high res JPEG, 300 DPI. A date for May 8th. So that was about 3-week turnaround, which is pretty short for the amount of people that's involved in the shoot and the planning that would need to be done. Now from there, let me see if I can find, look, oh, so look, see, I'm going to show you guys a lot of hints. Okay. Thank you for getting back. As mentioned, an agency will be providing the talent, including models, makeup, artists, costumes, hairstyles. I'll share the agency details when I send the contract. You have the flexibility to choose any location. The brand we're working with. So they're even going into detail saying right here, Zara, H&M, because I asked them what clothes, who's providing it, not only who's styling them, but who is the designers that we're working with. And they're like, it's all over the board. Look at it. Zara, H&M, and then Louis Vuitton and Givenchy and Dior. First of all, you're not going to shoot a spread that has Louis Vuitton and then some damn sneakers from Zara and H&M. What? Maybe you shoot stuff with Louis Vuitton, Givenchy, and Dior together. Sure. Right? Anyway, they're advertising partner for the edition. The images will appear all over the yada. For the vision and prime, we want to highlight the wear, styling of the clothing while capturing the lifestyle. Okay. Does it fit? Yada. Our target demographic is 16 to 35. If you're comfortable with the photographer responsibility, please reply. I say, yeah, here's my information because I just want to see how far they'll go. Would awards or stylists be provided? I know you can give us kind of aesthetics we're looking for. The agent providing models, hairstyles is Balint Zoltan. Balint Zoltan. And I will want you to discuss possible dates with him while I work on getting your advanced budget. Okay. That's his Balint Zoltan's supposed email. Please confirm the upfront payment can be delivered to your address. And what name do you want us to issue your upfront payment? Now, here's another thing. Okay. Listen very closely. Listen very closely. I have never had a commercial client, nonprofit, or an editorial magazine that I've worked with that pays, that sends me a freaking check. Okay? No. It's ridiculous. What is it, 1980? They're going to fax me something too? No. They would do direct deposit. First of all, they would ask for an invoice for my estimated cost. Okay, great. That's how much you cost. Can you send us an invoice? I'd make an invoice. Boom, send it to them. And I wouldn't even send it to that person directly who's the editor in chief, which is the head honcho. He's the boss. I would send it to someone in accounting. Then I would be dealing with accountant. The editor in chief ain't got time to hurry up and process my payment. Okay, that's not how it goes. They may facilitate it and be like, okay, great. Talk to Sally. She worries about that. They don't want to know my info, my contact, my account info. That's not their business. Their business is the service I'm going to provide and when I'm going to deliver it. And if they liked it, that's it. After that, they're like, cool, we like the payment. I'll okay it, send it to accounting, and then I deal with Sally. And then Sally does a direct deposit. Let me say it again. A direct deposit, not a check. So that's another tip right there. If they ask to send you a check in 2025, that is a no-go right there. All right. Let's continue. We receive a few copies, May edition, find attached the contract. Now let's go through this contract. This is where really, like, they went all out on this one. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see. Can you see? Let's get to this contract. There we go. Check this out. All right. Here's DSM Mac. Now, okay, you know, before we get into that, let me show you this. Now, here's the thing. All right, before we go there, let me tell you, when I got all this, I was like, all right, bet. Let me do some research. I looked them up on LinkedIn because, again, I've been approached in this similar manner. So I'm like, all right, let me do LinkedIn. Okay, that's a real business. I go to their website. They're actual functioning publication. Okay, they have an editorial team, a sales team, or, you know, a marketing team, etc. They're a functioning, thriving publication. Shout out to them. Okay, shout out to DSM, and they are. Let's take a look. They are a legitimate editorial. Okay, they do lifestyle. They do people, events, spotlights, and all this other good stuff. Home and garden. They got whatever you like, they got it. They talk about it. They're in, guess where they are? They are in Des Moines, Iowa. What the heck? Okay. They're in Des Moines. But guess what? So when you see DSM and then you see this funky old email right here, when you see this, okay, you're like, oh, okay. Look, here's the editor. Michael, it says it right here. Michael, DSM Magazine. So when you go to this, wait, let me make sure you guys can see me. Okay. So when you go to the other website and you see right here, you're like, DSM. Oh my God, this does seem so real. But let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's go to contact, okay? Oh my God, there's Michael right there. And he's the editor. What the heck is going on? But there's more. All right. Now, if you look at Michael's email here, it's Michael Moraine at DSM Mag. Let's go. Here we go. Michael Moraine .dsmmag at protomail.com, or look at the initial one. Oh God, I didn't even see all these. Okay. Michael Moraine at dsmmag.us. Well, that's funny because if I go here and go to their website, it says dsmmagazine.com. What? It's not .us. It's not .us. It's .com. Not only that, it doesn't say dsmmag.us. It says dsmmagazine.com. Shout out to them. Okay. Now, with that said, that is a clear, immediate giveaway when it comes to the scam. But they were slick because they used the right names, the right title. They probably used ChatGPT to create the emails. And by the way, I didn't even see this part, but look at this email. It has a whole bunch of reply tos to other email as protonmail.com. Don't know what that is, but that's another email. I don't know who that's going to. Okay. Now let's take a look at the contract here. Okay. That's what I hope you all are listening to me besides my cool sound effects and voice sound effects. I'm trying to help you just in case you get such an email and you see $14,000 budget, $5,000 goes to you, and you start to see these zeros. You're like, oh my God, it's going to be the easiest one-day shoot of my life. But watch out. Okay? Before that happens in your bank account. Now, let's take a look at the contract. Okay? Let's take a look right here. All right. So DSM magazine. You're like, oh, shoot. That's a real magazine. Oh, yes. They're in Des Moines, Iowa, a place I've never been except on Greyhound one time when I was traveling cross country from Long Island to California when I was a kid. Contract photographic services. They put the address of mine right there. Let's put it past that. I want you guys to know it. And then it says right here, compiling shots of DSM magazine, featured styles, etc. Let me make sure you guys can see all that. Yep, you can see it. And then outfits location date will be fixed by you. We want 69 photos taken, delivered by May 8th. They're going to pay me $5,000. Ooh, I love the sound of that. And I will retain rights to the images. They're just licensing it for 12 months. It said that somewhere else. I forgot where it said that, but it said it somewhere else. Oh, here it is. Usage. Usage is 12 months. And that is true. When you're working with a magazine, they either pay you outright, for the images of work for hire, or they license the rights to them to use it in X, whether it be social media. I one time had a client, they wanted 5 photos just for social media. Or it could be for a publication in so many magazines or a particular region, let's say North America or Europe or whatever the case. So you get your photography rate plus a usage licensing fee. Sometimes it's wrapped together. Anyway, media, editorial, and online. So it's digital and physical prints. Okay, fee quoted by client's original job description is presented by client, yada, yada. So you can see it's starting to sound like a semi-technical jargon, hoopla through here. Publicity use is when the client submits photos for okay, responsibility while photographer may every reasonable effort take photos specifically requested by client. Client understands that this is an uncontrolled event, that due to the vagaries of the weather, available light, time restrictions, willingness subject, photographer may take longer to deliver the photos. Okay, that's okay. My responsibilities include coordinating the shoot, selecting the selection, fixing the date for the shoot, dispersing models, hairstylists, makeup artists, feet. See, oh, here we go. Here we go. Right here. Look right here. If you just look through all this, you just go down and sign like a fool. See, when I was in music and entertainment school, one class I did really well in is business law, for a reason, because that's where you get tripped up real quick, is in the fine print. In the fine print. Let's go back. Here's where all my red lights are already flashing. This is where I stopped immediately when I read this part. Remember, in the email, they said the talent manager is going to pay all the talent, the hairstylists and everybody themselves. They're going to pay for directly paying them. My compensation is $5,000. Okay. But look here, things changed. Photographer's responsibilities, but not included too, coordinating the shoot, selecting the location. See, everything sounds normal. And dispersing the models, hairstylist, and makeup artist fee to their manager. No, I thought they had a talent manager who's going to pay them directly. Now I have to be in charge of it. When it comes to signing on a dotted line, they're saying I'm now in charge of dispersing the payments, not only to the models, but the hairstylist, makeup artist, and to the whoever else. Very interesting. Photographing accepted photographer accepts to pay models. Look, they say it again. Okay, look at that. They say it again. Models, hair, makeup fee from part of the advance payment received from the client. $9,500 will be required by the booking agency prior to the shoot to secure the models, costumes, makeup artists to be paid by the photographer. Look at they're telling on themselves right here. This is it. Right here. This is it. Right here. Pay attention. What did I say at the beginning? What did I say at the beginning? Come on now. Come on now. I said it's never your responsibility, in some cases, unless it's clearly expressed at the beginning, that you are to pay everybody. Unless you... All right, let me turn it off. Unless you send a quote, let's say if they came up to say, hey, we want to produce this great idea. Most of the time, they will have relationships with an agency, a talent agency, who will get the model that they want. And they pay with them and take care of them directly. I would never know how much this model gets paid. It's not my job. It's not my business. And vice versa. But ever there is a slim chance. I have worked with like independent designers and they're like, oh, I want to shoot. I'm like, well, the models cost this, I cost this, the studio costs that, and it's itemized. That is different. But in most cases, like on this level of a kind of a shoot, she clearly said, or the person clearly said at the beginning, they are taking care of everything, and I'm just going to coordinate with the talent manager. Now it's saying it's now my responsibility to pay everybody. Out of the money, out of the check, they're going to mail me to my house. Okay? Okay, now payment. Client shall make advance payment of $14,000 prior to start of the work. The advance fee includes photographer's fee, and for the talents, $9,500. Photographer's balance, $500, will be made within 3 days of confirming final images. That right there is another shocking. Shoot. I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, it's shocking. All right. Now, here's what I mean by that. First of all, on a shoot like this, I would personally, I demand 50% up front, unless we have some sort of a relationship and we have a thing going on. Most of the time I ask for 50% up front to secure the date, because you're going to have to worry about hunting for the locations, styling, coming up with all these ideas. That takes time. You have to calculate that the pre-production costs money too. It's not just the photo shoot for the one day, for the 6 hours or 5 hours or whatever, 2 hours. You're spending maybe 3 days worth of prep. So I always ask for 50% up front. And in some cases, it's installment payments, like, okay, 25% once I'm done with the shoot, and another 25 when I deliver the images. Totally cool. Totally cool. Most businesses that are dealing in this capacity or more understand how this whole thing works. Okay. I haven't shot for like $100,000 clients, so I can't tell you exactly how they do it at that level. But I've done this level plenty of times, you know, $10,000 to $20,000, and they've had no problem. They already know what their budget was, and me saying how much the estimated cost because I sent in the invoice. They are already cool with it. They got the money. They're ready to go. We wouldn't be at the stage if they weren't cool with the price. So, and my terms, I always send the quote with my terms and conditions. Hey, here's the price. By the way, I'm going to need this much up front. This is how I do things. Whoop, whoop, bop, bop, beady, bop, boom. If we reschedule within 72 hours, it costs this much. That beady, bop, boom. They already get it. They already saw it. They already approved it at this point. Now, for them to send me now, they're telling me they're going to send me the total amount. And then now I have to disperse the $9,500. In this case, if what the initial email was saying was true, I would only have to be worrying about the $5,000. If it was the $5,000, they'd be more than likely sending me $2,500. That's the point. And then $2,500 upon delivery and approval of the final images. I've never had an issue with a client paying. Usually it's called like net 30, you know, within 30 days. There's only been one client that ever paid me in 30 days. Most of them paid within the next pay period, direct deposit into my bank. Not a check. Look at this. Oh, shoot. Look at this, everybody. It says right there, check payable. Check payable. Oh, Jesus Lord. Unless you have a great relationship with said brand, first of all, it's faster. It's way more economic. It just makes sense. There's no, oh, I hope it delivered or somebody took your damn mail or whatever. It's direct deposit. Like, who doesn't do direct deposit? Shoot. Anyway, so it's a little. So now let me tell you the conclusion of. Oh shoot, I wanted to show you that. My bad. Right there. That's where it showed it. I'm so sorry, guys. Right here. This is where it says it. Look, another hint right there. Check payable. And as I said, client shall make advance payment of $14,000, photographer, and the $9,500. Okay. Boy, I tell you. Oh boy. And look at it. It's a big old, it's 5 pages. Here's the other, and look, it has the editor's name on it and the date. That's the editor. Now, what's interesting is, you know, it's got this little letterhead that anybody could have made, you know, on Word docs or something. So let me tell you the conclusion. Okay. And I'll get to your comments. This is just, you know, I'm sharing this because this just happened to me. As you can see by the dates, it just happened. Okay. Of course, right when I saw all this and I read that contract, I immediately, the next morning, I woke up and called the the magazine. I called up DSM magazine. I went right to, here, let me show you. I went right to their website. I went to contacts and I called up the general number right here. Okay. Look at that, 300 Walnut Street, Des Moines, Iowa. They really did their homework with this scam. So I talked to them and I was like, oh, I'm a photographer here, editorial photographer out of San Francisco Bay Area. And I just want to let you know, I got this email, which, you know, a fake letterhead and all this stuff talking about your editor and your editor's name, et cetera, et cetera. And she told me I am not the first photographer to bring this to their attention. And actually, there were numerous photographers that called them to let them know that this was happening. Okay. Here's another little trickaroo, by the way. If you see a magazine, let me show you right here. Let's go back up here. Look at the email. Michael Moraine at dsmmag.us. Okay. There it is. Right there. Okay. Let me make sure you guys can see. Oh, sugar honey ice cream. All right. There we go. So you can see right here, Michael Moraine at dsmmag.us. And then they throw the numbers, the big fat numbers, $1,400. You're like, oh man, it's about to go down, right? Anywho, but if you go to their website, Michael Moraine is an actual person. He's the boss. But guess what? His email is bpcdm.com. It's not even remotely the same. But if you look at the mag, dsmmag.us, but there's dsmmagazine.com. See, somebody might have gotten tricked. Okay. They want to cash that check, and all of a sudden you're sitting here doing fraud, cashing checks on behalf of the stupid photo shoot you thought you did. Okay. So watch out. I hope any of these indicators that I shared with you in real time, meaning like this just happened to me 2 days ago. I had no clue what I was going to talk about today, but I knew I was going to go live, and I was like, what am I going to talk about today? And this just happened. I said, I have to share this. This may help someone out there. And if not, you at least know this is going on right now. And the more things get crazier, the more AI is out there, the more things are so virtual. I'm telling you, this is going to be more of a natural occurrence. Okay. So let me give you a quick tip. If anybody texts you and says, hey, I got this awesome job, it's this, that, and the third. And even if they start responding to you, ask to talk to them on a phone or a virtual chat. And if they refuse to talk to you, then that's clearly a scam. Because every client I've had is more than glad to have a quick call or a virtual call, a virtual chat on Zoom. They get it. They know what time it is. But if it's a scam, they'll never want him. Okay. So like obviously in this case, that conversation from do you want to shoot this project to here's the contract went so quick. Because usually for a $15,000 project, they're going to want you to send an invoice in, maybe samples of your work. And then they're going to take 3 to 5 other photographers. They're going to hem and hum over how much we all cost, which one's going to produce the results, yada, yada, yada. Then they come back. Hey, we like what you said. Can you send us an official invoice? Great. Okay, great. I'm going to send you this contract. Send us the invoice and the contract. And guess what else they're going to ask for? For your income form. What is that tax? A W-2 or something like that. They're going to say, hey, can you sign this? We got to register you into our accounting business as a vendor. So that'll make the process a little faster the next time. But the point is, you're going to be paying taxes on that because they're going to claim it as an expense. So you send back the signed contract, you send back the invoice, and you send back the W-2. What is it? Is it W-2? I believe it's W-2. Okay. So you send all that stuff back, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Then you start to talk about the creative process, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So I hope, boy, that was a lot. That was a lot, man. Let me give myself an explosion. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Woo. Let me come back here. I got a lot of comments up here. Okay. Okay. First thing is, I got the Einstein and the Flashpoint Explorer. Ooh-wee. Hey, that's great, man. I'm glad you got that. Yeah, Vic, don't get scammed. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I'm just trying to help warn you. Many of you probably smart enough to pick up on these things. I'm just sharing what's going on out there that are targeting photographers. They probably got my info from Google, tell you the truth, because my business is on Google Maps and stuff. They lost me at collaboration if they're a real mag, that is. Oh, good point. Very good point. Oh, he says, oh, okay. All right, maybe you do. People usually do I get collab? No, but they do say like an assignment or something. Have to drop for oh, okay, awesome. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you, brother. I got a similar email a cool minute ago. Gonna see if it ends the same as mine. Yeah, check it out, man. It's funny how like how much effort they put into it. But if they respond so quick and eagerly want you to hurry up and send you your info, hurry up and sign this contract so we can hurry up and give you the money. That's wee. I've never had an edit a publication that's hurry up and give you the money. Usually it's like, all right, it's going to take about a week, and then. So all that was done within 2 days. Oh yeah, absolutely. Money order, exactly. Yeah, let me fax you over a money order, okay? Jeez, Sally's got the bag for real. Someone fall for it. I bet someone did. I usually do a deep dive on request, 100%. And that's what I start to do. And I'm a sleuth. I'm gonna go look at the email. I'm gonna go look up the website of the actual publication. I'm gonna go look up LinkedIn. I'm gonna do all that and start connecting dots. And you have to. That's the point. You gotta be a sleuth out here, especially when you see those big numbers. I think I was hit up by them on IG. Wow. See? The name is familiar. DSM Mag. And it's not these poor folks over in Des Moines, Iowa. It's not them. They know what's going on, but shit, I'm like, man. As the phrase goes, be wary of a seemingly perfect opportunity. It may be too good to be true. You ain't lying. You are not lying, okay? I hit up Geekoto, telling them about a scam. Lady using their name hit me up on IG saying if I wanted to try a product out, and he just shrugged it off. Damn, that's interesting. That's a little interesting. The lady who answered was just the receptionist, I could tell, but she told me that, like, okay, I'm just part of a long list of photographers that are trying to warn them and let them know. So she wasn't I told her, hey, just take down my info anyway. I'll be glad to share stuff. But anyway, seasonal photo shoots are done at least 2 seasons in advance. A great point. A great point. That's why I was like a 3-week turnaround. It includes 6 models, 66 photos. Like, it was just too quick. I got to coordinate with the stylist, the agent, with the models, location. I'm like, dang. And I know the names of the agencies here. So I want to see, I'm really curious which agency it was. Man, photography scams have been a thing like forever. Yeah, unfortunately. They're just getting smarter and they're adapting is what they're doing. Oh, an I-9. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what I meant. The I-9 form. That's what they usually have you sign right along with everything else. And then they enter you into the system as a vendor. Okay. I got a similar once for shits and giggles. I went through the whole process and got the check. A day later, they emailed me saying, paid me too much, and to refund them a portion. Wow. Dang. How you pay me too much when you agreed on the amount? I've never gone that far, but I'm curious. That's how the scam works. You end up paying them. Ooh. That's why I said no checks. As soon as they ask for a check, oh, do you accept a check? I've had that to be like, oh, I want to plan a birthday party and I need photography. How much is? Oh, okay, cool. Right now I can't get back home because my one wooden leg is bothering me. But can I send you a check? What the? Get out of here. Yep, very common with wedding crowd. Yeah, unfortunately. This happened to me when oh. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Okay. All right. Drunk wedding photographer. That's what's up. Uh, yeah, I guess that could be it too. But in this case, it was fashion photography. So, at least they respected my craft. All right. So with all that said, everybody, you already know what is it? We're at 6:30. Wow, we went a little bit longer, but that's all right though. I love this. I love it. Okay. So where am I? So you already know what that means when I turn on this music. It's time for me to wind it down. All right. I have a major wedding to pack up for Saturday. I got to pack it up tomorrow. That means I need to get the heck off the street. Right. I hope some of the tips, or at least the insight of my experience, helps anybody out there, to help you avoid being scammed, because they're out there. They're getting smarter. It's looking tougher and tougher for you to notice these little nuances. And that's why I want you to notice these things. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, so that you don't get left holding someone else's bag instead of you getting a bag. Okay. So anyway, I'll be going live again next week. Feel free to stay tuned. Of course, subscribe, hit that like and all that good stuff. And with all that said, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in for another episode of Let's Talk Photography. Thank you very much. Keep shooting and stay creative. Thank you, everybody.